Munster scriptwriters have written some pretty sensational storylines over the years in the Heineken Cup, but my word, they need another one today as they take on the fantasy lineup of a comic book billionaire.
Toulon are the European champions! The Blues beaten Toulon. Story team, isn't it? It is a Herculean rugby clash, this, and Toulon have just got their muscles out. in for a try, taking the scalp of Munster. And there's the thunderbolt here at Kentholm. What a start from Munster. Simon Seymour. There is no way back for Toulouse now. It is Munster who go to Marseille to meet the champions.
Well, they are all here for what is going to be quite some occasion. Huge swathes of Toulonnais supporters have travelled the 60-odd kilometres west to be here this afternoon. The Rouge et Noir hoping to back their side to the European and domestic double this season. And wherever Munster go, their 16th man is not far behind. There's been a real call to arms this week for the Red Army to invade Marseille, and over 8,000 supporters have fallen in behind their team for this one.
Toulon led out by the Prince of Toulon, Johnny Wilkinson. And when he comes here to Marseille, it is almost like a royal visit. He wants the goodbye that is the stuff of dreams.
Conor Murray will take centre stage today for the Irish team. The Munster scrum halves have historically played attendant to O'Gara's Hamlet, but Murray has the experience and form this season behind the scrum to dictate Munster's game with his pinpoint kicking and his belligerent running game. And from the Toulon perspective, from 2007 to 2009, Johan Smith was the world's best blindside flanker. Injuries took their toll to the point of retirement in 2012, but the Med has revived the Springbok to such an extent that it would be no shock to see him a Springbok yet again.
Casey Laulala has won on this ground, as I said, in Cardiff colours in the Challenge Cup final 2010. Wayne Barnes is back in France to take charge of this match, having taken charge of the quarter-final between Toulon and Leinster just 3 weeks ago. After the match, he received some criticism from the Toulon owner, Mourad Boujalal, taking on the coach's role of not being too enamoured with match officials. Well, Wayne Barnes has seen it all before. Munster have seen and heard it all before. Yet here it can be one of the most fevered atmospheres in world rugby. It's a test of this, even for the best. But that, from Toulon, is a shocking start. Well, and what Munster would have dreamt of.
Well, what a kick-off from Ian Keatley. The hang time on that restart was absolutely immense. Real pressure there. Zebo sprinted up afterwards, and Munster just doing as Saracens did yesterday in the early minutes, making it hard for the French team to start moving forward. That is what Munster must do for 80 minutes. It's a good first 50 seconds, and now they've got a fantastic attacking platform. Toulon's scrum is not their greatest strength. Munster were very good against Toulouse there. They'll want to unleash perhaps Murray, maybe Corlin here.
Munster playing towards what we should call, I suppose, the Toulon end. Majority of Munster fans, of which there are many, away to our left. But you'll hear them if Munster go over here. What a big first scrum we have then. And a big decision too from Wayne Barnes. Coin.
Against Carl Heyman, the former All Black wins the first scrum engagement there. The long back player, Heyman. He's got that scrum down there. You can see O'Mahony and of course that legend of Munster rugby, Donegal O'Callaghan, still on the bench there. They're going to miss their captain, but as Rob Penny said before, you get injuries at this stage.
Long straight back of Heyman, 6'5". He started off, didn't he, as a number 8 in the lot. Turned into one of the best at his height in international rugby. The best tight-headed in the game. Ryan Smith, who's returning to his best form, having retired from the game. Munster having to absorb these early charges from these star names, these big balls. There's Danny Rousseau now. Tiers-Ford to Wilkinson. And then Bastareaud. Oh, the 17 stone of him. Ditto, who did such a good job when he went to fly half to replace the injured Wilkinson. He went off after 28 minutes of that quarter-final. Here's Wilkinson again to Fernandez-Lobe and Bastareaud from deep. Chance to get up. Some steam there. Bastareaud looking for the offload. Munster prevent that. And Fernandez-Lobe, he looked straight to the referee and he's got his advantage. There's Heyman, second time we've seen him now in the loose. Fernandez-Lobe to Burden. The former Natal shot. That's got against CJ Stander, of course, came on for Peter O'Mahony against Toulouse and went on to be the man of the match in that crushing of Toulouse.
It's a worrying start for Munster defensively. Wilkinson very flat, playing the ball around the back, and Bastareaud makes 30 metres far too easily from Munster's perspective. They have to make the hits earlier than that. Keatley does well to get back to him, but he's shrugged off there. And with Bastareaud and Giteau, people like Armitage keep going forward. They give targets for the big men. They get opportunities. Play on the front foot. They get opportunities to win penalties. They cannot afford to give penalties away when this man is on the field. Kicked immaculately before he went off early in the quarter-final against Munster.
And of course, what a finish to the competition last season. Saw his side through to the trophy. Certainly in the semi-final, it was all Wilkinson at Twickenham against Saracens. When it came to the points, neck and neck with Ian Keatley at the top of the total point scoring list in the competition this season, both on 79 going into this semi-final. Early chance for Wilkinson to go ahead. Well, we knew that the distance was never going to be an issue, and I suppose we sort of knew that the accuracy was not a problem either. Wilkinson still doing it time and time again. 3-0 Toulon lead.
The key in all, though, is we knew that the pressure wasn't going to be an issue, and that's what marks Wilkinson out as one of the great kickers of all time. He makes pressure kicks seem into a Monday training drill. A brilliant kick, and again, Keatley's put a lot of hang time on that. Look at that kick.
Zebo allowed to chase. We saw some superb kick chasing from Saracens yesterday. And Munster have to do the same here today. Keatley, early signs, he's giving them the chance to do that. In goes Voilà. Almost judo style there. Rousseau. Another to have a really fine quarter-final. Lala's in there once more, this time to steal it. It's Captain Farley in support. It's a Munster penalty.
confident from Toulon, running the ball from their own 22, perhaps overly confident. And Munster, they do what they've done all through this season's Heineken Cup campaign, and they get themselves a turnover. So clever in that area. For 15 years, they've been brilliant at the turnover situation. And now they give Keatley a chance. And Keatley, in practice, struck the ball every bit as well as anything Johnny Wilkinson was doing. But we know that Wilkinson, when the heat is on, kicks. He's been doing it for years. Keatley, who has kicked superbly this campaign, now feels the pressure like he has not felt any pressure possibly in his career.
And did you see and also hear that slap from Paul O'Connell to Damien Varley and run the penalty? Of course, he'll let Varley lead, but he's there all the time to support, very quickly in to say, well done, Skip. Here's a chance for Keatley to equalise and level up with Wilkinson again. It's got it. Held its line.
You do feel, Miles, that if Munster are going to win this game, Keatley has got to rise to the occasion as a goal kicker, and he's got to go right boot to left boot, kick for kick with Wilkinson. Cannot allow Wilkinson to just build Toulon a lead. Munster don't want to be chasing it. They have got to be there or thereabouts with 20 to go. And Keatley, he started well because his two kickoffs have been brilliant, and that's a well-struck goal kick.
Rise to the occasion as a bloke as well. It's going to test every bit of the character today. I said it yesterday with Saracens in European terms. In many ways, it was boys to men, wasn't it? In contrast to the quarter-final 2 years ago when Mark McCaw described it as men against boys, while Saracens turned that around. And this Munster team now is growing too. New era. And what a stage to prove their point. Really, Michalak not involved, but still a great favourite here.
Very interesting from Munster there. Conor Murray taking on the burden of clearing the line with a box kick. It was a good one.
Suter wins the ball, then goes Armitage, and also Bastereau still on his feet. Keatley bravely holding on there to those giant legs. Rousseau bumped into his own man, Burden, his fellow countryman. Downey looking across there, looking at the referee for a little bit of assistance, but Munster mix it at them all. And this is an area that they will look to excel in today.
And when they all come up, Paul O'Connell is right in the middle of it all. May not be captain, but he's so important. He's got a vital role in slowing down Toulon's power game. Downey did very well at 12 there. It's something Ireland in the Six Nations did brilliantly. Downey initially very strong, and O'Connell, he gets back there. You can see Foley and O'Connell there, and O'Connell shouting to the assistant referee, we're holding him up. It's a really good piece of work there from Munster.
And Sean Dougal heavily involved, and Downey who started it. It will be all hands to the pump in those situations.
Well, that's exactly the point, Miles. We talked about Downey's involvement, O'Connell's involvement, Dougal is there. 1 against 1. Toulon are the most powerful team in Europe. 1 against 1. Munster are not going to win this match. They have got to commit numbers, and in doing so, they will be taking risks, and they'll be leaving themselves isolated to the threat of Habana and Drew Mitchell. But to beat Toulon, they have to be brave. They have to take some of these risks.
Have won in France this season narrowly against Perpignan, but we know where Perpignan are in the top 14. We know where Toulon are, right at the top. Bit of an early drive on there from Toulon.
Now listen, fellas. Just listen, please. Hookers, this has to get better. We're going to get you a bit off him, because I can't have you resting on his shoulder, so you've got to come off a little bit, okay? So don't be resting on his shoulder. Don't hit and go through the mark. Let's get these sorted, please.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a go through the mark there from Toulon.
There we are. Yeah, perfect. perfect. Yep.
Again, there's another aspect of the game. Munster have gone pretty well in the scrums. They've scrummed very well against Toulouse for key parts of the game, and they have to scrum well. We talked about Keatley's got to go toe-to-toe with Wilkinson goal kicking. They've got to get at least parity, probably a little bit more at the scrum.
Free kick. Might have happened last time, happens this time. In terms of the decision going Munster's way. Corlin was quick there. Now Lana. Murray to Keatley. Here's Dave Kilcoyne. And he made his Heineken Cup debut last season. It seems he's been around a long time, and that is credit to him. Advantage over on the failure to retreat. But now Toulon certainly retreating. Corners Munster ball. They will throw into this line-out.
Oh, once again, big tick there for Keatley. That is smart play. The Maestro O'Gara would be delighted with that. Toulon love to put pressure on. They come up fast. What does Keatley do? He uses their pace against them, puts the ball behind, and Zebo, who has chased everything really well all the game, forces the turnover. Tactically very sweet there from Munster.
Might have come off Corlin's foot, that. It was very tight. Anyway, you can see why it was given as coming off Wilkinson. There's Foley. Oh, look at that. Straight into Armitage, and Corlin now continues this power play from Munster. Felix Jones, but of course power not something that Toulon are without. Those chasers, but it's where Munster want to be playing the game.
He might have liked that ball to stay in field, but massive pressure again coming from Toulon, and at the very least Keatley has kept his team in a very good field position there. This is an important area. Without Ali Williams, without Bakis Borta, you could say that Joanne Smith becomes a key man in a line-up that's vulnerable, and O'Connell and company have to try and get a burden here. Another area that collectively Munster just might feel they've got a sneaking chance to edge it.
Rousseau just got enough on that. As Burden fired it at him. That one came off a Munster hand.
Good competition though, wasn't it? They're going to get at Suter, they're going to have a go at Danny Rousseau in the air. Rousseau is very quick over the ground, but he's not the fastest to get off his feet in the line-out, and you can see Foley there putting big pressure on the Springbok international. They've got to keep doing that. They can't stay down and wait for the drive. Got to try and take 50-50s.
Talked about Kilcoyne just making his Heineken Cup debut last season. Foley, of course it's this season. It was off his hand, good spot from Wayne Barnes. Bit of a late developer, Dave Foley, but he's certainly blossomed now. I think the injuries have helped along the way.
Scrums are a mess at the moment.
You must hit straight and fight to stay straight.
Kilcoyne again.
We're having free kicks and penalties too often at the moment in the scrum. It's not an edifying part of the game, and for anyone just tuned in for a massive game of rugby like this, they'll be just saying, oh, what's all this scrummaging stuff going on? Wayne Barnes has got to get hold of them.
Well, if you heard that, that was Wayne Barnes talking to Damien Varley just to relay the message to Dave Kilcoyne. I'm sure the prop forward is across the situation himself and needs to sort it out, because once the referee gets something in his mind like this, we've seen it before. The straightest who throws that one. There's Smith to Habana. That wasn't the best service from Habana that we've seen. For Dylan Armitage there to tidy things up. And Smith always offering himself to carry and carry hard. Tiersport to Wilkinson. Suter. Habana. Out it goes to Fernandez Lobe. This is Rousseau inside to Bastereau. Tiersport. BJ Volta coming up out of the line there. Tiersport saw that. That's adjudged to be a high tackle. Jockey gets it through the hands of Heyman and Gitto. And here goes Mitchell. Already got a penalty coming. There goes Chocky again. Scored in the quarter-final. Mitchell once more. Wilkinson through the gap, the offload, but that now will just bring about another chance for Wilkinson to add to the Toulon score. The crowd don't like it.
No, threats coming from Toulon at the moment, though. Quite clever stuff, back door from the three-quarter line. Chillis board, he's very quick like Murray. Powerful. Well, there's a huge uproar there, and it's high from Conor Murray, but no more. Toulon at the moment, varying their game. They're not getting a lot of joy out of Munster around the fringes, but they are trying to get men like Habana and Bastareaud into open spaces, and Munster have got to turn it into a far more claustrophobic affair. They cannot afford to have these wide areas where Toulon are sprinting.
That's what the two penalties have been for. For me, for number one, disappearing.
Certainly high.
Certainly
a penalty.
It was a free kick.
Indeed.
But I see your point. I see your point.
To be no more. But 3 points would really hurt. And that's what Wilkinson has to provide here. It's a recurrence of the hamstring problem that he suffered against Leinster. Worth keeping an eye on, but all seems well with Wilkinson at the moment. All seems well with the Wilkinson leg, with the Wilkinson boot.
Immaculate as ever. Conor Murray, the man penalised. And Munster know their discipline has to be absolutely spot on today. They cannot afford to concede anything for 50 metres plus.
He doesn't want too many restarts, but he's making a good job of them. And again, Zebo given every chance to be putting the pressure on. To his ball, recovered from the high tackle. So again. And Tears ball away.
Decent kick, and he makes sure Munster can't go quickly. Now, we talked about Toulon trying to get round the back of Munster. Wilkinson is playing flat. Look how flat he is. Then you can see Bastareaud. He's coming from the blind side to the open. He's making 30 metres. A couple of metres later in the game, they're doing exactly the same thing. Wilkinson, very flat. And this time they're trying to get Brian Habana around.
Shorten line out to 4. It's going to O'Connell, and it's 10 out of 10 from Barley in the pro. It's gone forward. JP Doyle on this near side, signalling to Wayne Barnes that it had Tears ball due. Do without that, really. It's crept into the modern game, hasn't it? This showing the officials exactly what to do. But anyway, maybe the horse has bolted.
Correct is one way of putting it, Mars. It's sprinting into the forefront of professional rugby players' minds, and it's not edifying, but it happens. You'd like to see referees very firm there and just say, please, talk, captains, talk to me, the rest of you, shut up.
Set!
Rugby also has that 10-metre rule, which you feel could be used more.
There's a bit of movement and there's a bit of a slip, so that's why we're going to reset that one. Yeah, and I thought he did well to stay up, but there was just a little bit of movement, that's why we're resetting.
At the moment,
at
the moment, the scrums haven't had a real tactical impact upon the game, but they are having an impact upon the match as a spectacle at the moment, and I think Wayne Barnes has not just got to referee this, he's got to manage this, he's got to get these scrums up so we're getting some rugby play and we're not just having a couple of minutes that are just lost in a void of slipping and cheating.
Another toot, and this recurrent problem is getting to the referee.
Okay, yeah, you're the captain. Okay, the scrum's settling, that's fine. As soon as any pressure comes on this player bend, you've got to fight to stay, This is what I'm seeing. We've got to fight to stay flat, not bend in half. Okay, that's 3 penalties against him. It's leaving me no option if he does it again, okay?
You just watch their time and he's going down.
Well, you could see on that replay, couldn't you? Carl Hayman had a really good position there with that long back of his. And I said it's not had much tactical impact at the moment. But when these free kicks become penalties and they start to mount up like that, suddenly Toulon and Wilkinson are able to make 30, 40 metres a go. And what's happening is they're finding themselves cumulatively about 120, 130 metres of free territory, and Munster can't give that much away.
Well, Carl Hayman, for his international career, has to go back now to World Cup in 2007. Of course, on that day, he was in Cardiff when England played Australia here on this ground in Marseille. But England did a scrummage job on Australia in their quarter-final in this very stadium, and you felt, although it was close in the end, it might be the issue that decided the outcome. And Munster have got to avoid that from being the case here. Kilcoyne has to sort it. Stefan Armitage is giving Wilkinson field position to go for points or to go for the corner. Just creating the snowball effect.
I don't know what the penalty count is after 22 minutes, but it's starting to rack up against Munster. And that is a concern. We've said it before. They're giving territory away in their own half. They're giving points away when Wilkinson gets within 40 or 50 metres of the post. But it's easier said than done. Real power there. Even Brian had banners coming in there. You can see Lobbo there. Great weight behind the red wedge. And in the end, Munster forced to go illegally against it. And now it should be 9 points to 3. And this is exactly what they can't allow to happen. Wilkinson just to keep chipping the lead away. 9-3 is not the end of the world, but it gets to 12, 15-3. And then Munster have to change the way they're playing. And Clermont had to do that yesterday, and they fell to pieces when that happened.
But also there's a contrast, isn't there, Stuart, between Toulon and Clermont when they get a lead. Clermont go into the nervous school, and Toulon certainly don't. They are very happy, courtesy of this man's famous boot, to get into situations like this, get a lead, and then not choke. But Wilkinson, a rare miss from that range from him. In fact, I think you've got to go back a long time to remember when he's missed from round about that point on a rugby field.
It's a major let-off for Munster, no doubt about that. It does happen occasionally, but your memory is scarred by what he did in last year's Heineken Cup, and I don't think he missed a kick in the quarters, semi or final.
No, perfect record all the way through the knockout stages.
Another super kick from Ian Keatley.
Here's Mitchell. Another who scored a try in the quarter-final. In a way, he got Matteo Bassero out of the hole, but he said then, Bassero will say, I created the hole initially. He tries to again. And there's Love, I think he's got an offload in there, he has. Here comes Rousseau and Paul O'Connell going low, and Paul a little bit higher, but it needed 2. Here's Wilkinson. Bassero again. Dougal waits. Bassero looked like he wanted to get rid of it then. Well done to Dougal. Well done to Munster. Turnover ball back. Zebo gone offside. And having got away with the Wilkinson miss, that's exactly what Munster needed to avoid. Another chance for the Toulon captain.
A little bit sloppy from Munster there because they've got the ball. It was poor play from Bassero. Tried something overcomplicated. He's a hard carrying man. He has touches, but that little flip was poor. It gave Munster the chance. Conor Murray saw the spaces, but unfortunately before then Zebo had gone offside, and he's given Wilkinson a chance to atone. And he misses from you think are the easiest kicks for Wilkinson, but from this sort of range, I go back to the Leicester quarter-final at Toulon, where it was one of the most astonishing displays of long-range wide-out goal kicking I've ever seen, and he just seems so adept at these kicks, so adept.
Damien Varley hardly needs telling from Wayne Barnes, but he's absolutely right.
It's that point now, isn't it? You know, Wayne Barnes made the point, it's costing them yardage. In the end, it's going to cost them a man to the sin bin, and it could cost them more points. Discipline has to be better.
And ultimately, cost them the game. That's where it's heading, unless Munster can sort those problems. They still have time on their side. They still, in many ways, have the scoreboard on their side. Toulon have not got away yet. Anywhere near. Wilkinson still has to get this, which he does. It's more like it, more of what we know.
Well, he misses the equivalent of an 18-incher, but then he puts over a 20-footer. The amazing thing about Wilkinson, potting parlance, he just puts 20-footers time after time after time. And Keithley is kicking very well. At the moment, he's just kicking too often from that spot.
Yeah, must be getting fed up with it. Zebo again on Stefan Armitage. Apart from their own penalty goal and that early scrum, Munster really haven't threatened the Toulon line. Although the same can be said for the team from this part of the world. We haven't seen too much potential try action so far. As up goes Felix Jones with a Gary Owen trying to get there. Great effort. And Munster throwing people in, it's their ball. It's O'Connell and BJ Bota. Murray, Dougal. And that's not precise. Earls have got to do something special here, but Earls might be the man to do exactly that. Conor Murray, inside ball to Zebo. And for the first time we see Simon Zebo getting involved off that wing. And it creates the penalty. And referee here, Wayne Barnes, just might consider. It's one offence, I know, but it is in that area. Well, he might have considered a card. Conor Murray is down, and the physio really raced on there.
Well, it's pretty cynical there from Juan Martin Fernandez Lobbe, but I think he's going to be saved by the fact that there have been a lot of Munster infringements. Ball starts from a super kick-off from Keithley. Big turnover, and the Argentinian captain decides to slow the move down there. Great side-in run from Keith Earls. He's been in very good form. He's quick, he's got super feet. Can't see it there as Murray goes to get the ball away. It comes the next phase afterwards. Cameron just needed to go on one more phase there.
Referee's looking at the big screen. Wants to check on this. He's got one in the face. No doubt about that. Also got one on the ankle.
To be fair, I thought from Lobbe's point of view, he went for the ball. I don't think he was out, and I don't think he was coming from behind.
He certainly top and tail Murray, didn't he? Graham Hughes is the television match official.
Let's just see this again. I think that's going for the ball. He always does that. He does go for the ball. And then what happens afterwards? No, he's just caught. It was an accidental clash of heads, Miles. First of all, look, he's playing the ball there. I don't think it's out. He's coming from the side, definitely. And that clash of heads is accidental. It's a penalty from the side, but there can't be more.
There's a lot more ball than it was ankle. Yep, I agree. He was playing the ball.
And that's accidental, the clash of heads there.
Usually, have you got any other side on camera?
That's it, Ramsey, yeah.
Mate, this is what I'm seeing. Let's just get this right. I've got a player walk through the ruck and he's stood on the ball, but as he stood on the ball, he's actually made contact with the face of the blue 9.
Yeah, there is contact, but he is going for the ball.
It is contact, but he's going for the ball. But
Yeah.
he's got to be a bit more careful. So it's yellow card because there's no intent.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh. So it is a card. Seems to roll off the ball, doesn't
Let me
he?
just say, I know you've not intended to do it, but you have made contact with the face, okay? So it's a penalty and it's a yellow card.
I think that's a hard call against Love there. I mean, it's head on head. And what's interesting, I have referees saying to me, you shouldn't talk about intent. Intent has nothing to do with that. Now, one of the world's best referees has decided that it's a yellow card and no more because there was no intent. So suddenly the intent card is played. I think it's a penalty because the Argentinian has come round the side there, Miles, but no more.
But Wayne Barnes also used that word, didn't he, which is very much in vogue at the moment. Got to be more careful. Duty of care is the phrase. And Fernandez Lobbe looked aghast with that decision.
You've got to be more careful. It's a Heineken Cup semi-final. He's infringed, coming in from the side. But what happens thereafter is pure accident from Robin. He's been yellow carded for just a collision. Absolute accident.
Well, just listen to hear what the Toulon supporters think about it. Ian Keighley. Not quite the silence of Toulon Park, is it? We talk to the kickers and often they say the silence is more intimidating. Keighley not bothered at all. And Munster right back in it. Right back.
Straight into the Toulon end from Keighley. I must admit, as he lined up to take the kick, I did see one Munster flag waving in the wind, so sign of movement there from the normally silent Munster crowds. Going well for Keighley, you know. It's impressive stuff from both fly halves at the moment. You expect it from Wilkinson in good vein of form, but Keighley really is putting in a pretty mature display at the moment.
So just about the rest of this half, Toulon down to 40 men, and then the drop on the restart. For having got the man advantage. That's a bit of a mini horror moment, that. As Toulon have control of the ball, and in a great position as well, and dropping back into position is Johnny Wilkinson. Thanks very much, 3 points, all because of the drop on the restart.
He's playing very well, Wilkinson. Mistake from Munster. We know he kicks his goals. He's kicked 4 out of 4, but he's playing very flat as well.
So obviously the right thing to do, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he's playing the game flat as well. He's playing with real options there at the moment. Very flat, asking questions of Munster, and at the moment they don't have answers because they're transgressing or making too many errors.
Wilkinson again. So being within 3 points didn't last long, did it? Just a blink. That gone forward? No, I don't think so. No, it's been knocked on.
The first real chance.
May well have gone forward initially, but the officials did not, as you say, the first real,
Just a scrum.
nearly full-on chance there.
Okay. Come on, let's get
This
these
is
working.
an extremely important scrum, especially from the perspective of Dave Coyne. I think he's probably one technical infringement from the yellow card, and again another penalty just gives Toulon a chance to just boot the ball with ease into the opposition territory. Munster scrum so well against Toulouse. I think the scrummaging has improved this season. It's got to pick up now. It's got to convince Wayne Barnes that it's doing nothing wrong.
That's clearly you that time. Your feet have gone away from you. I gave you the benefit of doubt in the first one, but his feet went away.
So, Munster lose the 3 points that they got from the Fernandez Lobbe penalty.
It makes it really easy for me to see.
Argentina being sent to the sin bin, but have a chance to grab it straight back. And if they had to pick a penalty, the one that they really wanted at this stage of the game, it's exactly that one.
just about where he kicked his last one. As we've so often seen, loose head gets penalised a couple of times. Quite often the tight head will go down and he'll almost try and kid the ref. Look, I've got the loose head under so much problem, it can't be me. But Wayne Barnes is not buying that. The penalty goes to Munster, and Keatley is in the position from where he's been slotting it with real efficiency thus far.
And if he misses this, it's just the pressure at the moment, the pressure of the semi-final, because he's just got one from almost exactly the same position. He's been enjoying this section of the pitch, and he keeps enjoying it, and he's doing exactly what his side needed to do. Hold his nerve on semi-final day. 3 points between the two teams again.
It's early days, isn't it? When we were watching the warm-up 20 minutes before, he was striking the ball so well. I said to you, he's not going to miss a kick at goal all day. The question is, will he get enough? Still a long way to go, but his nerve is holding up really well. Him and Murray going well at half-back. Discipline in the scrum, Munster's main problem at the moment.
Now, take the restart. Yes. Straight to the basket for Corlin. Mistake last time, cost 3 points. That one doesn't. Oh, ball's gone forward again, though, inside that 22. And it's happened again. Different sort of way of getting there, but Munster have to find a way to exit here on these restarts. Just hurting themselves here. You see the tetchiness of the players, how these penalties have come about. And Wilkinson, well, you can put the score down now on your scorecard. No need to worry about this one.
There's 6 points in it, Miles, and the 6 points are the result of 2 really naive errors from kickoffs.
I mean, obviously, I know that's almost trying a conversion, isn't it? To just
Give away.
gift away.
Give away.
Hurts so much more than conceding a really well-constructed try. So, well, okay, we can live with that, but hard to live with these 2 penalty concessions, and of course Wilkinson does what he does.
We have a chat with Alan Quinlan. Alan, I know Munster are trying to expand their game a bit, but you'd like a catch from the restart of more, and surely Murray and Keatley just clearing the ball. Are they too ambitious?
Yeah, certainly. I think they're costing their team mistakes. You know, silly errors when they win the kick-off. You saw the drop ball from James Cole, and again CJ Stander trying to do the offload there. They just need to focus and do the simple things well. The ball needs to go back to Keatley, or Murray needs to clear his lines. They're just gifting Toulon easy scores.
Here's a chance for Wilkinson to clear his line. Zebo just detected a slight maybe change of plan or hesitation. Zebo's so quick in those situations, but here's Keatley to Corlin. Murray's come tumbling down, and he just accidentally bumped into somebody. Straight back into position though, and it's a good pass because the pressure was on, and so too Bilal, who got that ball off to Dougal. The fact that Corlin and Stander were the 2 that gave away the points, played so well in that quarter-final. It's not as if they've been major contributors to the reason why Munster are here, and they've still got plenty of time to put it to rights, but Paul O'Connell does not want to give Brian Habana the ball in that situation, and Habana nearly away there. There's Stefan Armitage to Smith. Gitto's calling for it. He knows it's on wide for his fellow countryman Drew Mitchell, who keeps going. Flag is up eventually, and that there's some scramble across there from Munster, how they needed to get across. They were being stretched both sides initially after the mistake from O'Connell.
Well, it comes back to the little errors again. They did for Leinster in the quarter-final, and Habana can't believe it when Paul O'Connell doesn't control the pass. The second row can't stop the flying machine, and suddenly, from being in a defensive situation fraught with peril, Toulon are on the charge, and they're 45 metres upfield, all because Munster are not protecting the ball. They have to cut out the penalties, the basic errors, and they've got to make sure that the passes stick.
from what I'm saying.
It's quite easy to do the maths, isn't it, when you think about the gift of 6 points and what it might mean in the context of the game and the scoreboard. At least Munster can tell themselves, eliminate these errors, and they're right in this. But a couple more, and Toulon getting into that area where if they do suddenly burst into life and get a try and a conversion, then it's a whole different ball game, isn't it?
2 points here for Munster as they've got 1 minute left with their man in the bin. It's important for them to stay within distance at halfway line. It's Lobé about to come back on. Munster mustn't go more than a converted try behind, and they've got to hang on in the first half of the second half, because that's where Toulon are so good.
So the knock-on led to the scrum, which is a better platform now for Munster than it was at the start of the match. And for a long period of this first half, to be fair. Another penalty. Breakdown now, holding on. Dylan Armitage is looking like he might fancy this, you know. Of course, he went from an awful long way out of the state with the kicking tee in the quarter-final, which was probably the moment when Leinster realised it wasn't going to be their day. There is a conversation happening between Wilkinson and Armitage, and they are going for the post. Who is going to be the kicker? Yep, Armitage has been called up.
Super work from Toulon at the breakdown, putting the numbers in. Bastareaud heavily involved as well, and Munster hold on that ball. And yet another penalty. The penalties are racking up against them. As we approach half-time, if this goes over 18-9, it's a substantial lead, because, as I said, Toulon are a very good third-quarter team. Munster, they won't go away. At the moment, defences are on top, but it's discipline that is the key, and it's pressure, and the pressure is coming down to penalties for Toulon, and that is enabling them to drip their way in front of this semi-final.
This is as big a moment as it is a kick. Armitage knows just what this can do in terms of the balance of power in this match. He takes a reasonably short run. He's certainly given it a clout. What a kick! He's done it again. He was possibly a little bit reluctant, but Wilkinson called him up because he had confidence in what he could do. He proved it in the quarter-final. He's done it once more. And all the talk has been in the run-up to this game about the other Armitage, brother Stefan, but Dylan Armitage with that kick. Wilkinson himself would have been so proud of that. And at half-time, Toulon lead by 18 points to 9 in that sin-bin period. Really didn't hurt in the end, did it?
It did not. It is the spring in the step of the home side as they head to the changing rooms for the break. You have to say Munster are still in it, but they are nowhere near where they want to be right now. Outpowered, outthought, and their own errors costing them as well. It is Toulon, the defending champions, 18-9 up at half-time. "40 minutes to go in the second of the Heineken Cup semi-finals, and which of Toulon and Munster have got the skill, the bravery and the nerve to seize a place in this year's Heineken Cup final? Toulon have jabbed their way to an 18-9 lead. Can they land the knockout blow, or can Munster spring off the ropes to make their way to Cardiff? Let's hand you back once again as Munster re-emerge to Stuart and to Miles.
Thanks, Alex. And of course, Munster passing the majority of their fans as they run out from the tunnel at that end of the ground. So playing towards them in the second half and winning the likes of Paul O'Connell over that line. Not out of this yet. You say, Alex, a lot going for Toulon, and most of all, this points difference that they've managed to create here. 11th semi-final for Munster, breaking or overtaking the Toulouse 10, which they were level with before this meeting here today, but they have lost their last 3 semis in this competition and really do not want to go down that route again. There's the man who leaves the province at the end of the season, Rob Penny. What do you think he said at half-time, Stuart?
Well, I think if you could have spoken to Matt O'Connor at the end of the Leinster game, he'd have said, we just dropped too many balls, we made too many basic errors. At the moment, it's basic errors, but it's discipline, I think. Soft penalties, bad game management. I think Keatley's got to start putting his team in the right places where Wilkinson can't hurt them, where they stay in the game. Munster haven't been winning of late in the semis. Toulon, out of this weekend's 4 semi-finalists, are the ones who've got a great semi-record. It's favouritism very much with Toulon at the moment.
As Will said at half-time, you know it's coming from Toulon at some point. And somehow, Munster has got to grab this at the start of the second half. Stop making these errors in their own 22. Clear it now. Keatley is the instruction.
What a difference, huh?
And he supplies the perfect answer.
In the first half, that was 3 points through Stander trying to offload stupidly. Instead, it's 50 metres gain from Munster, and they can take the game to Toulon. I think they have to play territory. I don't think they've got the wherewithal behind the scrum to run Toulon off their feet. They have to get in the right parts of the field and put the squeeze on in the collective areas.
Stay 15.
Scored 6 tries in their last 2 Heineken Cup games. Edinburgh, of course, to lose in the quarter-final. Never less than 2 in any game in this season's competition. And they have to find something here today, and Habana has found something there. What a tap tackle from Downey. How important that was, because Habana had support. The Armitage boys were going with him. Mitchell was trying to get there as well. Habana well, often doesn't need support. He was all but away there. And that tap tackle from Downey, absolutely vital.
Wilkinson very flat again, and Dylan Armitage, his inside ball, turned it on a sixpence, quite brilliant. Wilkinson drawing the gain line, missed pass, look at that, inside, great taste to the pass, and that's a superb tackle from Downey there. Great skill from Dylan Armitage.
Felix Jones was getting ready, but it was coming at him. Got it. Foley and Keatley to Lawala. Bit of that Cardiff Blues spirit and belief from 4 years ago on this ground, which down Toulon then, but of course Toulon have moved on so much since then. Hardly any chaps left in the book. Earls charged down, and Habana feeds off those. Gito tries to get there, clears quick ball. Fernandez Lobe to Suter. It's a lot of red shirts trying to get there. Tia's board, one of them. Dylan Armitage to brother Stefan. Toulon, the world 15, with a local heart, and you just cannot give them chances like that. It will be checked because it was very tight.
It's another error. It's a charge down that just gives the chance. Too much pace, too much power. Stefan Armitage goes for it now. Watch the foot. He's in touch.
Right to check.
That is not a try. What it is a wondrous tackle there. A fantastic tackle from Simon Zebo.
The Munster fans are celebrating, having seen the first replay. That
no try.
Is out of play. Foot on the line, and Munster
watch his stop. Watch his stop.
Live to fight another day here.
Munster haven't scored a try in this game, but that's as good as a try scored by Simon Zebo. He has saved his team. 5 points definitely, probably 7. That was absolutely brilliant from the winger.
Taken by Foley. And again, Munster have to exit well here. O'Connell. Murray. He's not got a great angle there, Keatley. But because of that, did not take any risks, although the press is still very much on.
Big man came up there with a big play. O'Connell from the line out. But the Munster team owe a collective thanks to that man, Simon Zebo. That was superb. Stefan Armitage is a fine finisher. He's quick. Dylan does nothing wrong. Everything thrown into that tackle. Armitage tries to fool Barnes, but the TMO sees the foot go in. Superb defensive work. That possibly for Munster, 23-25-9 would have been too much. They stay in the game. And like I say, well, this is the inside ball to Habana, which was quite brilliantly. Downey's made a couple of big tackles, but none bigger in the first few minutes of this half than Zebo's try saver.
Yeah, Downey and Zebo doing their bit there. I'm not sure Stephen Armitage wasn't trying to pull. I just think in those situations you can make a strong case that he believes that he scores. He does nearly every time, and it took, as you say, a moment of brilliance there in defence from Simon Zebo to save the day. Could have been the moment when Toulon just got too far away. Foley retakes his place.
I think it would have been the moment. Even so, to get out of jail for Munster, but it's a worrying start to the half because Toulon have come very fast out of the blocks.
Burden throws. Rousseau to T.S. Ball, to Zwan Smith. Knock on from Bastereau. Keith Earls. Quite a way back from the knock on, but advantage over will be the call any time now. Murray. Lala. Keatley. Going a bit across the field. Somebody needs to straighten it. Kilcoyne gave it a go. Keatley again. To Lala. All the time. And again inviting Habana onto it. Toulon look a different team here. They are starting to feed off the atmosphere as Conor Murray gets the ball out of play, but all we've done is move to the other side of the field. It is still danger here.
Well, I've got two words for you: tactical madness.
Well, it's one of those things at 18-9, you're right, they want to take the territory, they want to shift down the field. But when you're under the cosh, it's 18-9, they're all over you. At some stage, you start pressing the button and thinking, we've got to go now. If it was 70th minute, you think, yeah, absolutely stop it. I still think there's enough time. There's enough now in that driving more. If they can find some territory to build a score slower than they're trying to do, they're going to the Hail Mary a fraction early.
They get very early, yeah? And you know, with Keatley playing such an accomplished game, especially with his kicking, he can take them down there inside him. We haven't seen enough of Conor Murray box kicking. This game is now starting to be spread against too much width of the pitch. Toulon, with their galaxy of stars, will cut you to pieces one-on-one. Munster, they need territory, and they need to start putting some claustrophobia into this match, closing down the areas from where Toulon cannot come at them from all angles.
Burden throws, it's perfect for Zwan Smith. And perfect to form the instant drive, and it was like a lock splitter there from Toulon as they went into the Munster pack. Fragments flying everywhere. Well, Munster's European Cup hopes flying everywhere here. The start of the second half, Habana slips, still has time to get up. They're calling on this side, they still are. Here's Wilkinson to Rousseau. It's another strong tackle. Downey threw himself in. Now Lala was there as well. It is desperate defence now.
It is raining kitchen sinks at Munster at the moment. They're coming from every angle and they're coming at pace. Habana is starting to look like the world superstar that he is. He slipped, he's up, and then you think this time one of the big forwards is going to come. Wilkinson's timing is super, but Rousseau loses it. And again, this time it's the other wing. Earls across to clean it up. But everything is being thrown at Munster at the moment. They have to hang on, and they have to get out of this 22. They're not going to survive for too long. They've got to get in Toulon's half.
Talked about the influence of the fans as Peter Imani looks on. Just look at that. The Toulon end. It's all at that end here. Munster fans can't pull it their way. They need their team to somehow get out of this hole that they are fast disappearing into.
Levy's holding, isn't it? But one score and you think it's going to burst, it's going to overflow. Everything is coming at Munster at the moment. They are hanging on in this game. It's been a fabulous start from Munster to this second half.
I think Brian Habana might be about to come off. You see there David Smith, he stretched that hamstring a bit. Had a slip. Yeah, he's not moving too well. Might be okay, but anyway, concentrating on the scrum. Munster have a free kick and a chance to draw breath here. Keatley, it's not going to be a Munster line-out. He needs maximum distance here.
Okay.
And he did really go for it. He's just got it, as you can see, inside the opposition half. That's a really fine kick from Ian Keatley. And here comes Smith.
Yeah. That's the sort of bravery Munster need. Bravery doesn't mean throwing the ball willy-nilly in your own 22. That's not bravery, that's daft rugby. Bravery is committing numbers to the breakdown and taking risks, as we see Habana come off. And it's when you go for touch with your kicks, and you go for everything, not safety.
No point taking a risk with Habana. Did that hamstring way back in December in round 3, you might remember. Just made his return recently as a long-termer. Down from Fernandez, Lobe. Attack after attack, and it's Mitchell. And just Smith's not a bad man to bring on, is he? 3 tries in this season's competition. But his turnover ball, down he gets it to Keatley. Well, that's like a kick pass looking for Corlin inside. It hit the head of Conor Murray. And I think therefore, yes, the first knock-on was from Toulon. Yeah, Munster ball.
I hope from a Munster perspective that wasn't a sign of pressure coming on Keatley there. That was a hurried, dangerous kick. Lobe was the man most likely to benefit there. Great defensive play. Standard went in on the tackle. He went high on Drew Mitchell and he ripped the ball there, and that led to the turnover. And there you can see Lobe almost gets the ball. The knock on, actually, it wasn't a knock on off Murray. It went off the face. But now this is, I just think it's so important now. Munster, the forwards get a little bit of drive, 9 and 10. Take the sting out of the game and get them in the right part and try and just exercise some pressure on Toulouse in the set piece.
And think about last year's semi-final when Munster stayed in touch with Clermont and Verne and so nearly and so bravely nearly won it right at the end. Controlled by call and penalty. Maybe this is the start of the turn. Now it's number 1 for Toulon, Xavier Chocky, who is penalised, not Munster's one. Kilcoyne, Keatley is going to go for it again.
And then drive the line out, and then see what Toulon have got on the back foot.
His eyes were looking piercingly into that corner. Knew exactly how close he wanted to get. Well, it's not as close as Conor Murray wanted.
That's a good kick on that angle there, Miles. Now it's a chance. O'Connell was saying, let's catch this, let's drive this, let's do to Toulon what we did to Toulouse. And then they can turn this round psychologically, because it's been a battering for the first 9 minutes of this half that Munster haven't broke. How resilient are they?
Test the Toulon mind like they tested the Clermont mind last season. They've got to get the points to do that. Dougal stays attached. It's going backwards. In goes Stefan Armitage, penalty. And Foley needs to keep calm here with Rousseau. No time for this being overturned. Oh, BJ Boat is in there, is he? Didn't realise he'd been wrapped up.
Come on, fellas. Let's stand there. You know each other well.
Quite a lot of wrapping paper required.
Okay, penalty number 3 for us.
Would like to put a bow on BJ, would you? Don't think he'd appreciate it.
No, and wrapped up inside a right hand, just saying to his former Blues teammate, Danny Rousseau. That's interesting because 18-9, Pretty was saying at half-time, they get the 3 points, 18-12, they're in the game. That is very bullish of Munster. That is almost like a feeling, hey, we have absorbed everything Toulon can throw at us. We score a try here, psychologically we put ourselves right back in this game.
What's a massive call this, isn't it? A massive man in O'Connell who takes it. And now those Munster fans at that end really can get involved in the match in the way that they wanted to. And there goes Murray. And Zebo got a corner! Don't think he got it down initially. He's trying to get it down now.
There's a yellow boot flashing in the golden sunlight. Is that his?
He bounced, didn't he, first of all? Did he get it down on that first bounce?
Okay, so there's no reason not to order a try.
Wow.
It's a try! Not to Graham Hughes. The officials do not require a further look.
Can I grab a quick squirt after?
Look at this, Zebo.
Well, I tell you what, Conor Murray does brilliantly. He peels off superbly, he draws Tillibord, and what about that from Zebo? Zebo is fast becoming the man. There's the score, he gets it. He's worth at least 10
Does he?
points.
Are you sure? Armitage, arm under. He certainly didn't get it the first time. We could see that from our angle. And then it was all about whether he got there first before Stefan Armitage and his arm got underneath. That's amazing that's not gone to the television match official. I know you want to back the officials to have the courage of their convictions, but that is staggering that that wasn't looked at. Here's Keatley, and again you can hear what the Toulon fans think about it, and Keatley's got the right conversion. Game on here. European semi-final day, doesn't it feel like it now?
That is an amazing resilience from Munster. They have been hammered, they've been hit with everything. And Simon Zebo, he has turned this game around. Whether he gets it down or not, it's awarded, it's a powerful finish. You put that with the try-saving tackle, he is a hero. And as for Keatley, what a kick. And Toulon, it's been all Toulon, and suddenly Munster saying, now what have you got?
Well, we had a moment of controversy yesterday, didn't we, with the penalty try. In the end, there's no way Clement Auvergne can complain too much the way the rest of the game went, but it was controversial and felt big at the time. And this Zebo try has made this place now turn into a cauldron of European Cup atmosphere that is overflowing. And there's one thing with Munster, you might be able to match them for passion, but you can never out-passion them. And the way they made those tackles at the start of the second half and came back and got in that position, turned down the three-pointer, well, they've walked away with the points. Tommy O'Donnell on for Sean Dougal.
Small thing from the restart. Murray hits it 30 metres out of danger. They're getting the restart right now. Can they get the rest right? Well, there you go. You clear the ball down. You say to the other team, up to you. And I tell you what, to the right of you and I, it was all noise in the first 10 minutes from Toulon fans. And now the flags from Limerick and Cork are starting to raise. And Munster will say, you've smashed us, and we're 2 points behind, and we're in this game.
Just quickly before we restart, because we've got to recap on that moment, it's going to be possibly such a big moment, but Wayne Barnes, I think, would have gone, wouldn't he, to the television match official. He went to Luke Pearce. Luke Pearce stepped in and said, no reason not to award it. Bang, up goes the referee's arm. He trusted his assistant.
You have to, and you have to, and if Pearce says it was a try and he was in a great position, then frankly, you have to go with him, because we have got so much prevarication. It's a scar in the game. And it's a massive call from Luke Pearce, that if they're so close as he was and he says it's a try, then you can't go with them. And now Keatley, who has kicked everything with utter aplomb, has a chance to put Munster in the lead. Now, this is the sort of range where we marvel at Wilkinson's ability to keep kicking them, but now Keatley, he has done everything asked of him from the two so far.
We said at the start of the game that Ian Keatley was going into Ronan O'Gara territory today, and this kick is in Rog territory, no doubt about that, not just in terms of where it is on the rugby pitch, but the intensity that surrounds it and what it means as Munster try to take the lead here as we approach the final quarter. Oh, and it's come off the kicking tee.
The other thing, Mike, so right at the start of this game, to win this match, discipline has to be good. It hasn't been. But Keatley, we have said, has to match Wilkinson kick for kick. And thus far, he's actually in front. He hasn't missed anything. This is his hardest yet, but he has struck it superbly today.
Tension just building because of the drop ball. Keatley. It's certainly got the distance. The officials look at each other, and it has just drifted by. They had a perfect view as it headed towards them. Don't think that time pressure came into it. The ball dropped early enough in the minute.
That's just a very hard kick, the wrong place.
Zebo to Murray and Keatley and Alala pops the ball up, and Keatley was there. Murray, oh, good hands there from Varley, but it's all got a bit too congested and tight on that far side.
Too tight, too little room on the short side there, and it's just handed ball over to Toulon. Still think, you know, Keatley and Murray kicking really effectively. I'd like to see them just keep kicking now. I know that Munster have evolved the game this season and last season. The semi-final of the Heineken Cup, they need to get Toulon in their own 22 and ask questions, not of Toulon's physical power, but their mental prowess. That is where Munster are going to win this game, if anywhere, in the head. That's the question they've got to ask Toulon.
There's a player come onto the field who suffered a little bit in the head in last season's semi-final, you might remember. There is Jean-Charles Orioli, who is reserve hooker for Craig Burden. Didn't matter that day in the end, as Toulon had too much for England's Saracens. Saracens had too much for Francis Clermont yesterday, and wait to find out who they will play in Cardiff in the final, won by Paul O'Connell.
Great touch there from O'Connell.
Keatley, comes Gitto, timing's perfect. Now Lala doesn't want to hang on to this. Support there very quickly. Murray, Keatley. Dylan Armitage at the moment, his long range in the first half proving crucial, isn't it? What he could do, Keatley couldn't quite. Difference between the teams. Manini also on in the Toulon front row. This is Drew Mitchell. Tier's board on the inside. Munster have it, stolen it, given back to them. In fact, Murray, now he is trying to exploit the short side, where there was a little bit more space that time. O'Connell comes in. Murray again, had two goes, it was a knock-on. What a shame for Munster. They had, just doing the numbers there, they had an extra man.
Yeah, it's a disappointment for Munster. First 20 minutes of half, one thing they have done, they've cut down on the elementary errors, and in that all-important moment from 40 to 50, they cut down on the penalties. When Toulon had them on the ropes, they gave nothing away. In the first half, when Toulon weren't doing that much, they gave soft penalties away, and the discipline of this half is what's keeping them alive. And there's the tiny knock-on from Conor Murray, but Munster are in this game, and most importantly now, I think they believe.
And they certainly would have believed had they got clean ball there. They had the chance for an overlap.
I still think that Keatley's just overplaying the stuff 20-30 metres out from his own line, too lateral. Toulon will hit hard. Got to keep Toulon turned. Make Wilkinson and company play from 80 metres out.
Good Toulon scrum, impact made there by their changes in the front row, and Stefan Armitage. Use the word passion in connection with Munster. Well, he's going to play his part in the passion play here that is evolving in front of our eyes. Who's going to write the key lines? John Smith.
Two players on their feet. Stolen by Blue Six.
Oh, what a steal that is. There's O'Donnell, Keatley, another loss. Gone the other way, went backwards at least from Toulon's point of view from Fernandez. Lobe, Armitage, space, and Zebo tries to cut it out. Oh, it's bounced well for Felix Jones, and it was still rolling.
22.
He touched it first. It's just a 22 and not a scrum back.
He grabbed the ball. No. Okay, let's just time
It's a timing thing, but Jones got the timing wrong there. Timing of the scrum from Toulon was pretty good, and that's the kind of ball that Stefan Armitage loves.
He's a mighty carrier, isn't he, Armitage? Again, I just think Munster are trying to overplay in their half. Man and ball for Keatley. Robbe flips it back. Speculative. Armitage.
There's the referee right here.
Yeah, I think he is. Certainly is.
Michael Claessens, former Bathman, and Konstantin Nikoltadze. There's Claessens, he's replacing Tiersport. Nikoltadze, the Georgian, to add his bulk. Going through the Toulon Academy, get them early. Toulon, their scouts. 22 years of age now, Nikoltadze, 20 caps for his country. And he's a lump. And he's going to go aerial here. He couldn't catch it. O'Connell could. And there's James Corn over halfway. Conor Murray. Keatley again resists the opportunity to kick towards the corner. Down he carries. Good work at the breakdown from Toulon. Orioli took a nasty fall after he got the ball away. Taking a nasty fall there is Smith. And the referee's holding out his arm.
Simon Zivo in trouble, his yellow card, I think.
This is a moment maybe that Zivo and Munster will live to regret.
Men, and it could be a 5-point deficit now. Wayne Barnes saw it immediately, put his hand up, and there's the penalty. Brings down Smith.
Well, it's Earls.
It's close, you know. As he's about to kick it, he's got every right to go for it. One of those things, I think, a little bit like Farrell yesterday. He milked the Clermont player running into him, but he was right to do so. And you just get the feeling there that David Smith just wanted to make sure that Barnes realised what had happened. It was close. But from Earls' point of view, close doesn't really matter. He's been yellow carded, and advantage swings back to Toulon. A Wilkinson kick does not slam the door in Munster's faces by any means, but it just gives a little bit of breathing room through Toulon.
Great kick from a great kicker. They really can place their trust in him in so many ways, but in particular off that kicking tip. James Cronin has come on for Munster. Earls off. Mendes Robbe spent time in the sin bin earlier in the match. Keith Earls now for Munster. JJ Hanrahan, the hero of Perpignan, recovered sooner than expected from that groin tear against Glasgow. So he comes on for James Downey.
Watch on.
Downey's done his bit defensively, hasn't he? But we're 15 minutes to go, 5 points down and the game to be won. Hanrahan has a real different set of skills. He's a match winner. It's a gamble. It's a gamble worth taking.
Come off Paul O'Connell. Well, it sort of doesn't matter now because Toulon have the ball. Gitto. A fine kick again. We talk about Wilkinson all the time when it comes to the kicking game and Toulon, but we should not forget the other option that Matt Gitto supplies to his side. It's exactly the kind of territory game that maybe Munster should have considered a few moments ago before the sin bidding.
It's a super kick from Gutto there. Wilkinson gives the ball out, and that just pulls up the Munster back three a little bit because of the running threat. There's a bit more space. He gets a lucky bounce, but that's a brilliant kick from the Aussie. Quiet so far, but that's a big moment. Felix Jones might have to chase if Connor Murray goes box, because of course Zebo is in the bin.
Great effort from the back. CJ Stander goes, defended by Wilkinson. And that's the ball that Cooney was talking about, we wanted to see more of.
That's the ball, Miles, that Munster knew about 75 metres upfield. The key is with 15 minutes to go. How do you get there?
Just not about time to press pause here for Munster. Doesn't use up any time. Simbin period, they'd like it to. Clock is stopped, but still good to get a breather here.
Yep. Interesting, Simon Zebo came over, thinking about using his left foot himself, but Keatley has struck it so well with his right foot. That's a good drive, it really is. And it's a matter, I think, of trying to eke out some penalties and then get down into the other half. And the thing is, with 15 minutes to go, Munster's DNA, they know so much about winning games from here. Loads of time. Alan, I've been slightly critical of the way they've been playing, a little bit too ambitious in their own half. If you're calling the shots now, then Munster, where do you go?
Well, I'd certainly be trying to put the ball in behind the Toulon defence, maybe out on the edges. I think I agree with you, they have been playing a little bit too much. They forced some turnovers there. Bassero, very, very good again, great turnover. That led to the key there is sin binning. Munster are in this game, and that's exactly where they would have wanted to be at this stage. So they just got to keep believing, keep working hard, and hopefully, get up and get some position in the Toulon 22. That's exactly where they need to go to get some scores.
Well, Zebo was trying to do that there, wasn't he? In the way that he knows best. Felix Jones, no Keith Earls on the pitch, no other option here, so Munster keep it centre field, turn back the way of the forwards. Keatley, that's a good ball to Laulala, onto Felix Jones, and even with the man down, they're into the 22. Colin Murray did his absolute best to arrive in time, and only just did, didn't he? Laulala to Hanrahan, now it's Tommy O'Donnell. And there's actually a call from Wilkinson on that far side for extra support. It's almost as if Toulon are a man down here. There's Cronin. Corlin and Varley and BJ Bota. Again, it's tight, looking for that moment to really put the foot down. Zebo, so often that man. The try scorer today, to this point. Here goes O'Donnell again, looks for the big handoff. Didn't get the starting selection, would have been hurting because of that. But like so many of these benchmen, they could be the crucial men in the final minutes of the match. Zebo once more, using valuable time. Keatley. Cronin. One of the new breed. Keatley again, O'Donnell, Keatley. Laulala. Felix Jones was calling for a little chip through, but Laulala wasn't going to risk that. This is possession and time for Munster. I'd love it to end with maybe a penalty opportunity. It is difficult without Keith Earls here to engineer much more. Hanrahan kicks. Ooh, Mitchell. That's outside of the boot. Good spell that from Munster, wasn't it?
Good spell from Munster. Shocking play from Dylan Armitage there. That is so loose. Drew Mitchell must be thinking, what has he done there? Because in the end, a man down, Munster are forced to put that ball away from Hanrahan. What on earth is that from Armitage? That should have been 50 metres downfield from a Toulon perspective, and now the pressure lifts again. And in the line-up, O'Connell has started to win quite a lot of decent ball. Donica O'Callaghan, 94 caps fresh, chasing his man down. Couldn't believe that giveaway.
Let the player land.
I should say Donica O'Callaghan is 95th, 96th appearance, where he's approaching 100 in this competition. He's fourth in the list. You know that. Goes all the way back. That semi-final against Toulouse in Bordeaux in 2000. Paul O'Connell, this is 8th semi-final in Munster College. Chain striped blue today, but the Red Army is waiting behind those posts. Up it goes from JJ Hanrahan. Will those posts come into play? No, they don't. But Dylan Armitage is there this time.
No advantage, penalty, man in the air, back we go. Okay, number 5 played the man in the air, so go back, penalty to Munster.
Munster penalty.
Playing in the air.
Is it for the corner again?
No, well, I guess if you get...
Oh, I'm doing that, I'm just signalling the penalty.
Farley and O'Connell think we catch and drive and we go over and we convert it and we win. In the Ronan O'Gara days, more often than not, this would be 3 points and say we've got 9 minutes to win it. Munster have always been the outstanding team at counting a clock down. No matter what the personnel, O'Connell, I think he's driving the call now. He might not be the captain, but they're going for more.
14 men and going for more. O'Callaghan takes, reunited with O'Connell in that second row. Munster looking for something very special here. It's gone backwards. Murray again. Here's BJ Bota, supported by Corlin. That's O'Donnell again. Conor Murray. Stolen by Toulon, and Zebo's got a long way to go back here. Needs to get back there quickly, does. Can he get away from Smith? Steps and goes the other way. It was such a big call that by Munster not to go for the 3 points. O'Connell. They're not going to die wondering here, are they? Keatley overdone it when he did go for the corner.
2 metres inside.
It's too punt maybe. Oh, desperate to get back on. Couldn't be critical.
Well, from 50 to 72, Munster have done really well, but with 9 minutes to go, I understand what they're trying to do. But Toulon are just tweaking a little bit, and to have got 3 points from Keatley's reliable boots to make it 21-19 with 8 minutes to go. I just think it's a good call. I think that's a good call. What are your thoughts, Will, on where we are?
Just trying to get the technical sorted out. We'll go to Will in a second. As on comes... let's just go to Will now, we can.
With that penalty, a small argument with Alec Quinlan. He believed they had the momentum and the tempo. 9 minutes to go. I'm looking at Toulon. I think they're hands on knees. Take that 3 points, 21-19. And suddenly there's Toulon faithful, and these Toulon players are wondering how on earth are Munster still in this.
Dennis Hurley on for Felix Jones. Claessens to Wilkinson. To Dylan Armitage. There is Hurley going back. Or did he carry that over? I think he feels that he has done. He's trying to get out of it, and he's done it somehow. Needed help came from O'Donnell. My goodness me. Still trying to bash his way out of defence is Hurley. Stretch on the pass, charged down by Wilkinson. Munster again. living so close to the edge. Earls is back. 7 minutes left.
Hurley did very well there. He was under tremendous pressure, and twice, you know, he was never going to go 20-30 metres or so, but he made 4 or 5 crucial metres twice, and that gave his team a chance to get out. He's under pressure here. He steps through Mitchell really well, and he holds off Gitto long enough to get the ball away, but the pressure's still on after that. Charge down.
And it's really on now because Orioli's got it.
Well, Mitchell's in space.
Yeah, Mitchell's coming on this side. Have they seen him? He's not covered. Is now. Murray's gone across there, but of course, normally Conor Murray's so effective around the fringe here. Toulon go left. They've got numbers there as well. Score here, and they will feel, perhaps we'll all feel, they're in the final. Wilkinson drop goal, charge down. What a charge from Corlin. Threw himself at it. Goalkeeper style to save the penalty. Away it goes downfield. Dylan Armitage, who was trying to join Mitchell on the unmarked side. Toulon went the other way. Wilkinson went the drop goal away, but what a charge down.
Well, if Munster are going to win this game, Simon Zebo will be at the top of the heroes list. James Corlin ain't going to be far behind. That was spectacular. Michalak, Ali Williams, Paul Sturgeon of England recently. Can't believe it. Wilkinson of all people, and the number 8, one of the biggest games of his life, just stretched an extra foot to get in the way of that one. Brilliant play.
As Paul Sturgeon, the fitness man, and this really is testing the fitness now and testing the nerve as well. McCallaghan tried to get in there, but can't quite. Here's Stefan Armitage, about to go into the final 5 minutes. Baxter-O. Don't want to mention those 6 gifted points in the first half, but they will nag away at the Munster minds if they lose this one. May have had a large slice of fortune on the Zebo try, though. Let's factor that in as well. Hurley has gone out, and that won't really hurt. Toulon. They want more. They thought that Hurley might have just strayed outside the 22. Referee thinks otherwise.
I thought he'd have gone there. But if you're going to back up Luke Pearson, Wayne Barnes for early calls or tries, you've got to go with them for whether you're in or outside your 22, I guess. No, he's inside. Cracking work from Barnes.
David Varley has gone, given so much to the course. Paul O'Connell will, of course, lead the side from this point. Will he lead them to victory?
Watch stop, still replacement. Number 3, watch stop. Okay, it is off.
Castro Giovanni, Martin Castro Giovanni wants to come on as well. Hammond goes.
Okay, nice guts. Watch out.
Champions almost there again to the final. Suit up. Round comes Mamidi there and adds considerable weight. And this is more that Toulon are in control of.
It's available.
They wanted to maul the penalty there, Miles, but Munster have done well. They've stopped that.
Clarson's to Castro Giovanni. Mikhail staying on his feet, but
he's not going down.
Munster are in there. Look at the effort there on the face of Corns. He tried to rip that ball away. Yes, the effort was worth it. Every last ounce there from Corlin and co.
Okay, no worries.
Mikhail looked a little bit naive since he's come on. He was very upright there, and Corlin, huge effort there, but did a brilliant job. He was given a target, tall man there, and he just got himself in position to just hold him with that choke tackle. And Munster, first job achieved, as you can then see, number 8, brilliant piece of work. That was turning over the ball and getting control of it. Now, I still think they've got time to try and play territory. I suspect that Keatley and co are going to run the ball, though.
Coulon, who's up for a National Unsung Hero of the Season award this year. Well, all people really ought to start singing when it comes to James Coulon.
How can you be up for an Unsung Hero of the Year award?
It's rather a contradiction, isn't it?
Didn't look this way, did it? At 50 minutes, when it was all to lose and it was 18-9, and you thought any minute the dam's going to breach. Munster have scrapped their way back in, and they are still in with 2 to go, in with a sniff.
Stefan Armitage said this week that he and his team wanted to become legends, get to the final again. Well, Munster, these players will be legends if they can win it from here.
No.
Blistering tackle.
Coulon again. Murray. Hanrahan slotting in at fly half. Earls has lost it. Lost the ball. Possibly lost the match now. Orioli almost did his best to drop that there. Claessens. Manini. So we go to 2 minutes. Penalty.
Poor tackle.
There's a minute gone, and also 3 points to seal it.
They're going crazy down below us on the Toulon bench. Pierre Mignoni jumping up and down, all the backroom staff celebrating. Toulon now with Wilkinson's left foot, our one straightforward kick from a repeat Heineken Cup final. Unbelievable tackling from Baxter. The timing of it is so good, the power is deadly, and Toulon, they just felt Munster, and maybe they should have taken 3 points to get close. Maybe they've overplayed it in their own half. Those are small criticisms. What you have to say is, once again, if they're going to come up short, they have taken a very powerful Tiger of Toulon team all the way. But if you look at the first half, they made too many errors. You look at the first 10 minutes of the second half when Toulon looked terrific. They're worthy finalists to go back there again, but Munster have made it work. I think we can almost say now, Munster gallant loser, it's going to hurt them. Toulon, they're heading to Cardiff.
And Prince Johnny, maybe King Johnny, to take them there. This place has proved to be an inspiration when it mattered in the final minutes. And those Toulon supporters are ready to celebrate now. Talked about the trust they have in their man. Toulon, a club with the grandest of ambitions, and they are going to have the chance to retain the trophy, the prize in European club rugby. What they scored against Saracens last season when Wilkinson got the ball. Bit of help from Dylan Armitage today. Bit of help from Munster in the way some of those earlier penalties were given away. But Toulon have just had too much in the end. Murray to O'Donnell. It's another brave semi-final defeat for the Munster men. And it will hurt just as much as those previous ones. Voilà, winner here 4 years ago in Cardiff colours, not today. They wrestle for the ball still. But the match, the result is all done. Here's Zebo. Bit of defiance here from Munster at the end. Coulon from O'Donnell. Coulon, amazing in this final quarter, what he has done. Duncan Casey now on. Conor Murray. But listen to the Toulon supporters celebrating, even though the opposition have control of the ball. BJ Bota to Paul O'Connell. Groscombe, Stefan Armitage. Brother Dunham as well. Casey Lalala. JJ Hanrahan. Wilkinson lying there on the wrong side. Again, a central figure. Bastareaud goes in there. Referee Wayne Barnes signals the final penalty. Bastareaud blasts it off. They will stop at nothing in pursuit of what they want so badly. And this season, this year, it is all about the double for Toulon. Domestic triumph and retaining this trophy. Ball is still not officially into the stand according to the referee. The celebrations have officially begun. Wilkinson, maybe appropriately, the man to put it off the field, although Bastareaud wasn't a bad choice. And Toulon are there again. It will be France against England in Cardiff. Toulon against Saracens. And the chance for Wilkinson to bow out, having retained the Heineken Cup. What a thought, what a final to come.
Well, Munster have come to Marseille and they made Toulon go nearly all the way. They played with huge hearts, in particular Zebo and Corlin were astonishing. O'Connell in the second half massive, but they were not always as tactically astute as they could have been. In the first half, they were not disciplined enough. In the first half, they conceded too many soft penalties, and that 9-point lead in the end proved fatal. For Toulon, we know they have a galaxy of stars. They have a fly half with a deadly boot. They have players who are used to winning big trophies. But on the balance of this weekend, Saracens back in England will have watched this match this afternoon and they will quietly be setting their sights on Toulon and the Heineken Cup. It's going to be a fantastic final in Cardiff. It was a fabulous finale today. Munster, they went close. They weren't quite bright enough. Toulon had just that little bit more, with home advantage in the end crucial.
To push Toulon in this stadium, on this stage for this Munster team. Many of these players, young players of course, growing, and they'll come back even stronger for this experience. Just 1 year out of the last 15 years, Munster have failed to make the knockout stages. But this is 4 semi-final defeats in a row now, and that will hurt. However experienced or inexperienced these players are, but Toulon will be the side to face Saracens, and again, Toulon unbeaten at home. Their second home here, Marseille, in the Heineken Cup.